Let's turn this Suzuki V-strom into an off-road beast. Alright, so we had a nice little cruise on a V-strom 800. We are at the racetrack right there. We are in Corona Racetrack headquarters, and these guys have a lot of R&D here in-house. So we're gonna leave the bike here for like a week. They're gonna take everything apart and they're gonna revolve everything, put new internals inside, new spring rings and all that good stuff. So the stock suspension was nice and plush, but I want to get a little bit more. I want to ask more from the suspension. I want it to be a little bit plush on the top when I go a little bit faster through the little cheddar, but then when I hit something a little bit faster and I take some jumps in, I want to have suspension that can have a good hold up and can carry me through some more technical and also more aggressive trail riding. The second most important thing for this V-strom 800 off-road build, definitely tires. The street tires, the kind of street and a little bit off-road that come stacked on this bike are not the best for off-road riding. When I go on a little bit sandy condition, I'm losing my front end, but it does feel amazing on the street. Now I want to have a bike that can do at least 50-50. I want to take this thing for some off-road riding and be able to be confident and trust my front end. Dunlop D606 for a front end. Check out the pattern. These are nice knobbies, and this is something that will grip in the off-road terrain. I know that this is more off-road oriented front, but it also feels good on the street. And as I said, I really need to have that front end that I can trust, I can have confidence in. So this is the tire that a lot of people use it for the Baja riding, and it's very popular in the dual sport community. So it's very common to have a different pattern, different mixture for off-road and street for the front and off-road and street for the rear. So the front is more aggressive, and then the rear right here is not as aggressive, will give us really good grip also on the street, but will work great in the off-road riding as well. For the rear, we got a Trail Max Raid. Look at the pattern. It is more aggressive than what I have now, what comes stuck on this bike. But it has a little bit different pattern than my front tire. It's not as aggressive and will be great for street riding and also off-road riding. So will give us a good grip. Definitely upgrade to what we have now. All right, check this out. Stock tire from Dunlop, and this is a 606. It's gonna make a huge difference in off-road riding. Of course, we are at Dirt Bike TV Garage again, and Jay is going to help us with the Dunlop tires for this V-strom 800. Next very important part is the protection. So for protection, we got together with Tusk, and we have this super heavy duty beefy skid plate. V-strom actually comes with a skid plate, but that's just some kind of plastic skid plate that will probably crack on the rocks if you hit it really hard. This bad boy right here, it's pretty heavy, but also will give you a lot of protection. So we're gonna be installing this Tusk skid plate, and then we cannot go without a good crash bars. These crash bars are from Tusk as well, and we're gonna be installing these right now, and I think they will look really amazing. You know, this will beef up the bike, it will look really aggressive, look really nice, and then it will give us all that protection when I accidentally drop the bike on the side, which might happen. And also what we got here from Tusk are these panniers right here. It's pretty nice heavy duty black color panniers with this rack that we will be mounting Not today, because today we are going to build a beast for off-road riding. Right now we are focusing on building this thing into off-road beast. We're gonna actually take a couple things off that we don't need for off-road riding. It was a little tricky, but we got it. We'll put the bolts in, but still keep it a little bit loose so we can mount the other side and marry it together. Having a bigger footprint is essential. So task, make these billet aluminum easy to use, looks pretty good. Slide it on like that. Cool. Another important thing, since we are not going to use this bike as a commuter riding in the Crocs, I don't think I even have Crocs. We're gonna get rid of this rubber piece. And later on we're gonna get the IMS foot pegs. They have pretty wide foot pegs for these bikes. But for now, it should be good without this rubber piece. Much better. Another important update for this off-road beast is the mirror. Both mirrors are double takes. These are the stock mirrors. No complaint on this mirror if you are in the traffic on a highway. Really good visibility. I really like them when I was just commuting, having fun on the pavement. But once you go off-road, you hit it once in a branch or you fall down, you will break it off and you are done. So that's why these double takes, they are a must. You can stow them like this when you go riding off-road. But even if you don't do that, right, and you have them in this position and you hit a branch or something, it will just bend like that and you can push it back. You can make it a little bit tighter and you are good to go. So definitely a must-have for the serious off-road riding. When you don't need them, just stop them like this. Both of them, just kind of move them like that, out of the way, so they are not in your way, and you are good to go. We also got rid of this plastic cover for the chain. That's not needed for our off-road riding. It's just kind of bulky. It looks like it doesn't belong here anyway. And here we go. V-strom 800 is an off-road beast now. If you just look at the front tire from Dunlop, that thing looks so aggressive. It's like completely different feel compared to the stock bike when I had it before. And all the crash bars, the suspension with that beautiful Racetech sticker, and the most important, what is inside the suspension from Racetech. And then look at the skid plate, like everything looks so beefy and ready to go. All right, so let's jump on it. Let's go for a ride. The traction control is on the gravel mode and the rear ABS is off. So I'm gonna try to ask a little bit more from this bike compared to what I did before. Especially traction and suspension. The front wheel should be real nicely planted with the new tires from Dunlop. Oh my goodness, it feels like a different bike. Look at that. Hit this little jump. Woo-hoo-hoo. So good, man. Wow, that feels like a completely different bike. I mean, I can tell it's a ADV bike. Okay, so this section I was losing front end and now it was completely planted. The sand over there, it was so good. I can feel the weight of this thing, but it is pretty nimble. Like, look, I can move it wherever I need to. Okay, let's look what we have here. We can slide the rear brake because ABS is off. This thing has a really usable first gear. On a solo technical stuff like this one, we can stay in the first gear. It's not like on the dirt bikes. The first gear is much longer here. Alright guys, so the tires and the suspension, they completely transformed this V-strom. It's not so plush like it was before. Before I could go over those little bumps and not feel it. It was like a sofa. This one is a little more firm. Kind of reminds me of a dirt bike suspension. But on the jumps and then bigger hits, it is everything nicely. Good job, Racetech. They know their stuff. So now I really want to go and do some long off-road riding on this thing. They use the potential this bike have. You know, considering that this thing is almost 500 pounds, it actually feels really nimble. You see that track marks on the trail? I was here on my Yamaha 250 just like 1 hour ago, so I can really compare, you know, the feel. And I'm surprised how nimble this thing feels. I'm considering that this is a big adventure bike. This is a dirt bike stuff, guys. This is definitely a dirt bike stuff. All right, let's go through this little bit tighter technical section here on a big 500-pound cow. That thing feels nimble. It's so surprising, guys, to have a bike like this and feel really good on it. You know, I'm not really an adventure guy. This is my very first adventure experience on the bigger bikes. But the skills I have from a dirt bike riding, just directly transferring to this riding right here. I think we got ourselves a really good off-road adventure bike. The few changes we decided to do, tires, suspension and a little bit of the protection, they are a huge difference. And I took a wrong turn. Let's go back. Alright my friends, and that's it. You see how great this bike handles off-road. This is what we did today. The suspension was important, then we did the tires and all the protection. I feel like this V-strom is now really capable. I can take it on some good off-road riding. I want to go on a trip, I want to go on a rally. We are supposed to go and hit the Rocky Mountain ATV rally in Mesquite, Nevada. So that video will be hopefully coming soon, and I'm just looking forward to test this bike. As you can see, I can really ask everything from it. I can almost ride it like it is a dirt bike. I can go through some gnarly stuff. I can go a little bit faster. The suspension is eating everything. I can do these little jumps and even bigger jumps. The tires are holding in all kinds of conditions, so I'm really impressed and I'm happy how this thing turned out. So stay tuned. I'm gonna definitely bring more videos riding this thing on the good off-road trails, having a lot of fun. All right, my friends, well, that's about it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let us know below in the comments, and don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.